everyone. I hope that all is well. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Leah Apocrypha. It's a pleasure to meet you. I hope that you'll consider joining this little soul family that we have going on here. If you are returning, welcome back, soul family. Always so great to have you back. As always, disclaimers, information, and decks are in the description box down below. If you are new, please have a look at the disclaimers so you can have an idea of how a tarot reading works. Thank you all so very much for being here, and please know that I really, truly, deeply do appreciate each and every single one of you. So, as usual, I pick the deck based on what calls out to me the most. And let's see what message that Spirit wants to come through today. The Fool in reverse. The Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. Let's see what this top card is. The Three of Swords. The Ten of Wands, the Six of Wands in reverse, and the Seven of Cups in reverse. Curious, the Hanged Man, as well as the Five of Cups. Let's see here. I feel like you have been faced with many things lately that have been making you feel sad, lost, struggling, facing some difficulty in dealing with a situation that you have been presented with in your life. But with the Fool in reverse is telling me that there's this fear to move forward. It's like this boy or this man, it's kind of like he just senses someone. Like he knows that something is wrong. It's like they can feel this change in the wind. And it's like they feel like they're being looked at, which they are. Even the trees and the woods look at them. The stones. They're being watched. And they feel it. With the Fool in reverse is telling me, like, instead of having that uneasy feeling and just continuing cautiously, forward, it's like a stop, a halt. So there's a need to release what is left burdening you in order for you to be able to move forward. Here with the Four of Pentacles, I do feel more about the heart as well. So again, there's some heaviness in your heart that you are still holding on to, subconsciously or consciously. You're afraid to let something go, and I feel like it has to do with matters of the heart. With the Ten of Wands, is saying that you're feeling so overburdened by what is going on in your life right now, or this situation, this dynamic, whatever this is. It's like you're still holding on to something within the heart, a matter of the heart, that because you're holding on to it, like the Four of Pentacles, which is holding on to that foundation that you think may be working for you, even if it has already been proven not to work. There's this holding on to it, this clenching on to it, trying not to let it go. And actually, I just realized that both of these cards are rainy. And I feel like this is when you're feeling sad, is when you think back to these here, not wanting to let go of something, and the feeling overwhelmed with holding on to whatever this is and more. Because this is the 4. 4 is for stability, but this is the 10. 10 is supposed to be a completion. However, you have a choice whether to hold on to the 10 wands or to let them go. And the only way to start over in a good way, the only way to have a fresh beginning, is to release all of those wands. And I feel like this is something that has been causing you a lot of stress and anxiety. With the rain here, perhaps a lot of tears again have been shed. You want to move forward in something, but you're holding on to something that is causing you pain, that's not allowing you to continue forward. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like in this scene, in this image here, they're in a cave. They're cave dwellers. And it's like, with the card in reverse is telling me there's something within you, something deep within you that again you're trying. It's like there's this part of you that wants to release this energy, and there's this other part of you that here, like this column here, are severely holding on to it for your life. The 9 of Pentacles is about a stable individual. It is about being financially stable. It is about being independent. And with it in reverse, I feel like there's this kind of perhaps a subconscious fear of independence, or a subconscious fear that you will lose independence in a certain situation. But it's like, instead of holding on to the independence, the 9 of Pentacles, you're holding on to the 4 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. When it's like both of these cards are not helping you, they're only causing more anxiety, more fear, more stress, more shit that's going on that's like, you don't need this. So it's like, try to find that balance to where you feel independent and you're capable of doing what it is that you need to do for yourself in order to have a victory. With the 6 of Wands, it was in reverse. I saw 10:01. The Six of Wands is about victory. And in this card, it kind of seems like a reunion into the afterlife. You see, if you look really closely, we see all these spirits. We see this doorway. And walking towards the doorway are these spirits here. So it's like, I feel like Spirit's trying to say it's time to walk through that threshold. It's time to have that victory. It's time to reunite with your true self. And your true self isn't this overburdened, anxious, sad side of you. It's this explorer, this fearless warrior, so to speak, magician, so to speak, who seeks to continue on forward. But the Six of Wands in reverse is telling me again, it's like this is the energy that you have been feeling. Four of Pentacles, where you're holding on for dear life. And 10 of Wands, where you're holding on for dear life. Whereas over here, what is meant for you and what is trying to come into your life, 9 of Pentacles and 6 of Wands, which is independence and victory. Those are the cards that are in reverse, not these here. So there's a lot of emphasis to you from Spirit to be very, very, very cautious. And I find this very serious. In a very serious way, be cautious of where your energy is falling under. Is it falling under this distress? Or is it falling under this victorious perspective or outlook on life? It's up to you to choose for yourself which one you want, which path. It's like, here's one path and here's the other path. It's like, which one do you choose? If you want to get out of the Three of Swords energy and the Fool in reverse, and you want to switch it towards the Fool upright and the Three of Swords in reverse, which is what we should want, right? Then there's a need to follow this path upright, to make it very clear, to find your independence, to stand in your power, your individual power, and to find victory in the little things, and to find victory in your life, because you make it so, because you make it happen, because you take that leap of faith, you walk that path, even if it seems scary sometimes. You walk that path and you trust that you are on the right you're headed towards the right direction. Let's see here. These two cards have a very similar vibe to me. The King of Swords in reverse and the Seven of Cups. So both of these have horses. White horses. And even though this one's the headless huntsman, and this one does have a head, just kind of slumped over. Excuse me. The helmet fell off. So there's still this feeling of like you've lost your head, so to speak. Maybe you're up in the clouds, or you're having so much trouble focusing your mind. On the horse of the headless huntsman, there's like, it may be hard to see, but like a bunch of different skulls and matrixing of faces, along with this tree as well. It's like, to some degree, there's something that you feel like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. It's like being at your wit's end. Damned if I do move forward and communicate and convey how I feel, because someone might misunderstand me, is a fear that you may be having, that you may be facing. And then damned if I don't, if I walk away and I don't convey how I feel, then damned if I don't, because I'm just wasting these emotions. This sadness, all this whatever that I'm feeling, if I don't convey how I feel, all of those emotions are just being wasted. This is a very heavy energy that I feel with this here. The Hanged Man is saying to find balance, because in this Hanged Man we see this kind of yin and yang imagery. We see this one that is speaking of death, which death is about transformation. Death is only temporary, so to speak, because with every end comes a new beginning, a new light. However, underneath we see it's like this person is trying to swim through the current. But this card was upright. So the one that it is focusing most on is this one, the skeleton. So again, it's like a call to change, a call to make a difference in your own life. It's like only you will know what that is for you. But there must be a change that happens in your life, and this is the change. The change is in your perspective. The change is supposed to be, it's your choice to choose to change, to move out of that state of lack and overwhelmingness, over burdensome feelings or emotions or situations, circumstances that are going on in your life. What the Five of Cups is saying is to look behind you. Look behind you to find the answers. Like, the answers are right in front of you, but you may be too blinded to see it because of holding on to something that doesn't work, that only makes you feel worse. I got these new cards. They're pretty cheap, and they're of the chakras. Oh, snap! Let's see what chakras you can focus on to help you 7th chakra. Interesting. Okay. Look. Underneath is also 7th chakra. So Spirit's definitely trying to tell you that you need to pay attention to your highest wisdom, not your mind. I saw 20, 30. 2 and 5 equal 2 and 3 equal 5. 5 is of change. Again, there's that strong need for change. 7th chakra. It says, meditation and silence. I sit still in meditation regularly, as I know there is power in silence. I seek out stillness during some part of every day. In the silence, I am open to receive without asking and without expectation. In the silence, I will hear and see the truth. Rest, tranquility, and peace are rejuvenating to my spirit. Miraculous emotional, mental, and physical healings are available when I am open to receive. And that is the feeling that I'm getting here with this, is that there is a strong need to receive that healing. In silence and in meditation, we are able to snuff out, to find what are these things that are blocking our path. And in silence and in meditation, we're able to contemplate and hear more clearly what it is that we should do in regards to this situation. So I will pull this one that was here. Underneath that was knowledge for the third eye. Let's see. 7th chakra, crown chakra. One with all, I feel the divine force flowing through me. I honor this and know that it flows through all. I am calm in knowing that I am one with all, and I contemplate and meditate on this fact. I regularly remind myself that we are all from the same source, and that we are all on a journey as spiritual beings experiencing the physical existence. I am aware that I have a choice as to how I respond to what is happening in my life. My responses have an enormous effect on my spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical well-being. And I definitely have the feeling this is exactly what is going on in this situation here that we're talking about. And it's like, you know, within you, you have that knowledge within you. 6th chakra, third eye chakra, it says, I recognize that a great deal of knowledge and information comes to me in the form of intuition, such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, and hypersensitive feelings. So a clear sight, a clear hearing, and very strong emotions, and inner inclinations. I use my intellect combined with my intuition to delve into circumstances from a philosophical and spiritual viewpoint. So this is saying to view things from a higher perspective. I aim to understand the truth behind situations that come my way, as this helps me to respond with wisdom. And that's what I was saying here. I cultivate positive beliefs about my life and others. So it's like you have the knowledge within you. You just have to trust your inner self. You have to trust your highest self. And you need to believe that you are headed in the right direction once you move away from fear and move into action. Once you move away from a feeling of lack and move into a feeling, a desire for exploration and newness and abundance and all of these things. regularly remind yourself that you are one with Source, that we all are. We are all connected. Let's get a dragon today. Which dragon wants to come out today? I'm also feeling kind of called to mention that like every deck is different. And so, like I mentioned earlier, and I mentioned in my readings, that before the reading I feel what deck wants to be used based on what deck is kind of like calling out to me the most. And picking this one, this is not one that I commonly feel drawn towards for my readings, but this is the deck that came out. And so it's very interesting because every depiction, every deck has different imagery. In particular, the ones that do not follow the standard Rider-Waite imagery depictions. And so it's very interesting that in this deck, the second and the fourth column are very similar. So like here we have the rain. We have these entities and these entities that are stuck in the rain. It's like if you look, there's spectral on the bottom, and the floor is just full of water. But the same here. It's almost to their knees. So you feel like, again, you're feeling so caught up in your emotions because water symbolizes emotions. But then here on this column we have these two white horses, and it's not in every deck that you're going to have these similarities or these kind of synchronicities and commonalities. So we do have commonalities within this deck. Perhaps horses are significant to you. Perhaps rain is something that is significant to you. I'm curious what's underneath fear. There's something that you're fearful of that you need to let go of. And I feel like, again, it's this, for it to be the Three of Swords, there must be fear of lack. And again, we have that here. A fear of not meeting expectations, or a fear of not being good enough, but know that you are more than good enough. And you are deserving. And it doesn't matter whether you believe that or not. I mean, it does matter. You need to believe that you are deserving. And that is putting yourself in, with this in reverse, with this upright, you know? But what I was saying that doesn't matter, what I mean is like, you need to believe it. And look, here we have more emphasis on death. But underneath we have destiny, and it's this dragon that is soaring through the sky and flying as high as it can. This rainbow dragon, right? Destiny is calling out to you. And I feel like Spirit is trying to move you in the right direction. Especially with you having the crown chakra twice, is definitely saying you need to trust yourself. You need to believe in yourself. You need to trust that you do have the inner wisdom that you need. And you need to just bring that to the forefront. Spirit is trying to give you the blessings that you deserve. But in order for you to have it, again, there must be this energy of death, because this is the death card. There must be an energy. And you see, this is a cave. And in the cave, like I was mentioning in this card, is like you have to go deep within yourself to transform. That is why I feel like this is why there have been so many struggles in creating or moving towards these changes in your life. Is because of this fear that you have to go within, or these distractions that you have that are keeping you from going within. When it's like the answers you seek are right there within you. Like literally you have the answers. And sometimes you feel overwhelmed or overburdened because your mind is so cluttered. But with the 7th chakra coming out twice is saying like, you just have to put it into practice, and you have to believe it, and you have to live it. The thing about spirituality is like there's no way that you can fake it. Spirit knows. You can't fake anything with spirit. And I feel like spirit is saying, when you go within yourself, the answers that you are coming to, they're not wrong. And I feel like it is, and this happens to all of us, that sometimes we get in our head. Sometimes we'll sit in silence so that we'll come to answers that we need. But then when we come to those answers, we start doubting them. And we start questioning them. I feel like this is something that is holding you back. It's like spirit has been giving you those insights of wisdom through your crown chakra. Your higher self is telling you, like, you are aware, you are awake to some degree, but at the same time you close your eyes when you walk through the path. It's like if you're awake, you must be awake. Don't be sleepwalking is the feeling that I'm getting. You know that there are things that you need to let go of. It is time. Like, stop waiting. I feel like there's a lot of procrastination. There's a lot of doubts, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. But I feel like once you make the changes that you need to make, everything is going to fall into place. And you're going to be like, why did I take so long to make these changes? I feel like when you make those changes, you're going to feel new, invigorated, like a newborn. Because here's death. Again, death, this isn't the death card, it's the Hanged Man, but in this depiction of the card again, we have the skeleton. That's what I feel it is saying here. So let's see what other cards we get. Strength. It's like, know that you have the strength within you to make these changes, and don't be fearful about it. I know that's easier said than done, but it's like spirit has your back. Spirit wants you to know that when you make those changes and you start to move forward, you're gonna be following your destiny. You're gonna be on the right path. And when I looked up, I saw 3404. And 4 is the number of stability. So it's like when you start making these changes, you're going to be walking towards your path. You're going to be on the right path towards your destiny. Life purpose. Look, I mentioned destiny, life purpose. Let's pick one more. This one wants to jump out. Closure. Yes, look, death and closure. Death and closure. We can't get more clear than that. I just looked up 3444. 4 again is a number of stability and transformation. Look, this is the death card. I had the feeling that the death card might come out in this deck as well. So even though we don't have the death card 3 times technically, we have that energy of transformation that energy of the death card 3 times. With the actual death card of this dragon, this transformation card, which is of transformation, that is death, rebirth, regeneration. And with this Hanged Man card here, even though it's not the death card, this symbology here is correlating to death and transformation. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's not easy, but I mean, when you want to create for yourself, you can create for yourself, but you have to want that for you. You have to strive towards that. Oh, I just realized there's this one card that wanted to come, Colorless Angel, on number 10. This is of a card, the deck that I'm not even using. 10 again, it's asking you to make the changes that you need to in order to move forward, in order to have that new beginning. And look, here's a horse in the background. So again, there's something about horses. Something about horses here. Whoa. It's time to take action. I'm sorry. Definitely what I was feeling. Sorry about that cut off there. Honestly, sorry if it's TMI, but I feel like it's relevant. I just had to go to the bathroom, like, all of a sudden, like, out of nowhere. I really had to go. And I was gonna wait until after the reading, but I couldn't, so I had to stop. And I feel like that's relevant, just saying, like, sometimes you think that you're headed in one direction. Sometimes you think that perhaps waiting something out may be the best course of action. However, sometimes when you feel the inclination to act upon something, you should just act upon it. So that it doesn't distract or it doesn't get in the way, it doesn't affect what it is that you're trying to have in the moment. There's a need to, like, rid yourself again of that bullshit, so to speak. Cleansing yourself, letting the old go. It's time to take action on what you feel called to transform. A new start is coming was right underneath the deck. Let's see what those are. I'm not gonna pull them, but let's see what they are. Look at the bigger picture. So aim towards your goals. Strive towards your dreams and your aspirations, and know that you are capable of creating that. Look at the bigger picture. We did get that sense of this, looking at the bigger picture for one of these cards, didn't we? A need to see things from a different perspective. A fiery climax approaches with that new beginning. With that new beginning that was under the deck, and now look, it's another Sagittarius card. So we have 2 Aries cards, 2 Sagittarius cards. Perhaps that's relevant to you, or it could just be saying, like, embody that energy of moving forward. Aim towards your target, aim at it, and move towards it. So let's see here. Look at the bigger picture. That card definitely did want to come out. Again, aim towards what it is that you want, not what you don't want. Don't waste your arrow shooting it at nothing or something that you don't want. If you're gonna use an arrow, use it because you have to. Defend yourself, use it because you have to fend for yourself. You know, hunt for yourself, so to speak, or whatever the case is. Don't just shoot an arrow at nothing. If you're gonna shoot an arrow, then you shoot to aim at the prize. You know what I mean? Kind of like there's kind of like, for example, you never aim a gun at someone ever, 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 unless you're gonna shoot. That's the only time that you should ever aim at someone. And I'm not saying do something stupid. I'm not condoning anything. I'm just saying, like, as a metaphor for understanding, like, if you're going to aim towards something, don't aim just because, like, oh, it's funny, or it's a stupid joke, or it's a whatever. Like, no, it's not funny. It's not a joke. It's not something to take lightly. It's a very serious thing. It's not a toy. It's something serious. And people can get hurt. People can die. So it's like, only aim towards the things that you know you need in your life. Only aim towards the things that you want to attract in your life. And don't just shoot at whatever just because you're scared that you're shooting off into the distance because you hear rustling in the leaves. Don't just shoot without knowing what it is that you're aiming at. That's what we're getting at here. There's a need to look at the bigger picture. Again, if you just shoot off into the distance just because you hear rustling of leaves, or just because the grass is so tall that you can't see what's there, if you shoot at it, you could end up hurting or killing something innocent, or that you were not aiming towards. And I feel like that's what Spirit is saying here. Be cautious, be careful not to just shoot just because you're scared. You need to look at the bigger picture. Prepare to defend yourself, but know that it might not be what you think it is. Perhaps you think some huge beast is gonna come out. That is a possibility, but also you never know. Maybe a little rabbit can come out. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was a bug. Maybe it was just the breeze. And maybe you're tripping out over nothing. You're making something a bigger issue than what it is the sense that I'm getting here in some way. That's not to say that the energy that you are experiencing or going through is easy. That is not what I'm saying. Sometimes, it's hard to see the leaves rustling to where you want to shoot, because it's like, if it is some big animal, it could literally just pounce at you in a blink of an eye. But again, if you just shoot, who knows, maybe it could have been someone else hunting. So it's like, I feel like there's this fear to wait until the last moment when everything is clear and you can see everything right in front of you. There's this fear to wait towards that moment, because I feel like your fear is that it will be too late. If you wait until the very last moment when you see whatever critter or whatever it is, that's going to be too late for you. I feel like that is in some way the fear that you have towards your dreams or your goals or whatever it is that you're aiming towards. You want to take action and shoot first. You don't shoot first and ask questions later. No. Ask questions now. Ask questions now, so that way you don't waste your time, your energy, your bullets, so to speak, your metaphorical bullets or arrows. Luck is on your side. I feel like pulling one more. I'm not going to take those, but I'll read them. Let's see. Underneath is confidence is your key to success. A time to give rather than take. If there's a situation that you feel like you have been giving and people have just been taking, it's time to take your power back. If you feel like you have been taking and taking from people, it's time to give. Don't let your past hold you back. It speaks for itself. Head towards not your south node, head towards your north node. I feel like, okay. All of a sudden I just got this strong feeling that like this is what this reading is about. This death and transformation is about moving away from your south node. And the transformation, this rebirth, is for you to aim and start moving towards your north node. If you don't know what that is, you can look up like your astrology chart online and see where your south and your north node are placed. Don't let pride get in your way. So no matter what happens, no matter how successful you become, no matter where you are in your life, remember to stay humble. Pride is only going to take from you. When you become prideful, you would lose what you have going for you. Don't be prideful. Remain humble. If you want your blessing to continue to pour in. Be bold and make the first move. That is exactly what I was talking about. It's time to take action. When you have that feeling of what you need to do, that calling, where you need to go towards your destiny, then take it. And look, a new star is coming again. Let's see. Again, let's get one more. One more, please. Look, a new start. I had a feeling. Be bold and make the first move. Yep, it's the same message. The same message. So, whoa, that's quite a lot of cards. Stillness. Oh, wow. Remember that 7th chakra, that crown chakra card that came out was meditation and silence. And look, stillness. Reflect on this moment with love, kindness, and compassion. No limitations. You are a celestial being with unlimited potential. There is much for you to share, if you choose to. If you don't, then it's just going to be untapped potential. Celebration. Celebrate your achievements. You truly are a gift of the universe. This is saying you have come a long way. It's time for you to be grateful for what you have and be grateful for everything that has happened to you, because it has put you where you are right now, to where you're able to release the old and accept the new. Speaking of which, release anything that keeps you from your path of authenticity. People, places, things, doesn't matter. Light, it's time to reveal your radiant light to the world. You are beautiful and you have such a big destiny, a big purpose, but in order for you to reach it, you have to transform. Fruition. Rest assured, your dreams and visions will come to fruition. When you stand in your power and you trust yourself and you believe yourself and you aim towards what it is that you want in your life, because you are the magician. When you learn how to manifest, you learn how to, hold on. When you learn how to be aware of your energy, it is easier for you to align with what is meant for you. I just looked up and I saw 1414. Because I had to stop the video earlier, that's why it's at 14 and not, 30 something or 40 something minutes. 1414, 4 and 1 equal 5. 5 is of change. 4 is stability. 1 is an amplification. So it's again, you're trying to create stability in your life. But to create a good, a stable foundation for yourself, you have to release the old. You have to transform. You have to allow the new to come in, but you have to act upon it for that to happen. Temperance. Find balance and be centered. Sorry, I'm moving around. Okay. Find balance and be centered. Again, that balance here, remember how I mentioned that yin and yang, that balance? Finding that within yourself in order for you to, when you're centered, you're able to listen to your higher self. You're able to take the advice to follow that balance that your inner spirit's trying to convey to you. When we're still and we're listening, that is the best time to actually be able to receive that message that Spirit has been trying to relay. Communication, and I was just saying how what Spirit is trying to relay, and the communication, listen and speak with greater care. And I feel like this is also saying to listen and accept what comes to you in your states of meditation and silence. Listen to the words and the wisdom that you are gaining in these moments, because you question it and you question yourself, and Spirit saying stop. The communication, when you feel it deep within you, when you feel it, that is when you know. When you know, you know. And trust it. Don't just know and then believe it for a second and then be like, oh no, never mind. Like, no, that'll never happen. Because then you are literally keeping yourself from manifesting what it is that you desire. Because you're not letting it come to fruition. When you doubt it, you're killing it. You're literally snuffing out the candle. When Spirit is trying to give you something, it's like Spirit turns on a candle. And when you're fearful, oh shit, excuse me, card came out. Okay, we have slow down. The pace must abate before it's too late. Slow down to me is again saying there's the need for stillness, a need for meditation, a need to allow your subconscious mind to come to the conscious mind in order for you to heal it and to work through it and to release whatever is still holding you back. In order for you to have this new beginning, you must have this closure first. Adaptation. Change will be better than you think. That's that death and transformation. Absence. What is not there is the key. What you cannot see, what you do not necessarily think about with your conscious mind, but what comes to your mind when you are in a state of stillness is the subconscious coming forward. It is your intuition coming forward to where you're able to calmly view it, not out of judgment, but as something genuinely worth your time and your attention. What is not there is key. So like, I just got a feeling like if this is someone in your energy, what is not there is key. So like, if they never make the time, the effort to ever communicate to you or to ever talk to you when you know that they do to other people, or they are online all the time every day or something, if they're not willing to make time for you, but they make time for everyone else, that only proves to you, that only brings to the foreground, brings to light what the truth is. And it's like, you know what you need to release. And if it's something that is not in alignment with you, if it's something that is in absence from you, and not because of circumstances, of course there's always circumstances, work, school, kids, whatever the case is. But when someone is able and they don't, the key is not in what they say, the key is in what they do. And if they never do for you, silence. This was underneath the deck, straight up. Listen more and quiet be. With this stillness here, and the other cards that we had, the other one, the 7th chakra, Temperance, slow down. Again, saying to listen. Listen more and quiet be. Courage, have courage. Be brave, be strong. Believe, be bold. Let's see what else comes out. I have this coffin purse that was like on my floor leaning against one of my chairs, and it fell. I don't know, you may have heard that thud sound. And I wasn't thinking anything of it. I was going to completely ignore it. However, I just thought of the symbology behind that. It's a coffin. And it fell over. And this whole reading, a big part of the message of this reading is of death and transformation. So for this coffin purse to have fallen over is like saying again, you need to be consciously aware of what it is that needs closure. Like this card, literally, we had a card that came out earlier that literally says closure. And then we have the card of transformation. We have the death card of this dragon, literally the death card. It even says that. And then we have this hanged man with that symbology of the death. There's a need to, again, release. It's like, don't dig yourself a grave. I don't know why I kind of got that feeling. By you staying... Okay. Let me see. Well, let me try to gather my thoughts. By you staying... Okay, no. That's not what I'm trying to say. When you realize that there is pain within you, like the Three of Swords card that we had, that was upright under here. As soon as you realize that pain, that heartache from the past, those memories, all of that from the past, you are able, then, once you realize it, you are consciously aware of it. At that point, it is your choice to either release it, to work through it and release it, or to allow it to continue to fester. And what all of this is saying is not to allow anything to fester, but rather to allow it to teach you and to be grateful for the lessons that it teaches you so that you can move forward without questioning what is right or wrong for you. You will already know when you are in your power, because when you are confident and in your own power, you do not allow anyone to take that from you, which is important, because the only way for you to succeed on your path is to have your own power strong within yourself. The only way to really succeed on your path, or any path for anyone on anything, is for you to believe in yourself that you can and that it already is yours. That there are no limitations, and that anything that you desire, you can make come to fruition. Anything that you don't desire, you must release. But in order to have what you want come to fruition, you have to release what is still holding you back or burdening you, or whatever the case is there. Let me move this out of the way. I might just get 3 of these. Triple spiral. Successful career. I wasn't gonna pull that much, but I guess I might as well pull one more to make it even. On the triple moon. Before I started shuffling, the triple moon was on the bottom. Triple moon, embracing all aspects of yourself, the divine and the earthly. So we have balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. I mentioned balancing. I mentioned like this yin and yang energy. Yin and yang, one is male, one is female. So again, yin and yang energy, finding balance within yourself, even if you don't believe in that term or in that necessarily. There's this need to believe and understand that there is this light and dark, male, female, whatever you want to call it, attribute it to, just don't call it good and evil. because that's not what it is. It's male and female. It's light and dark. It is not good and evil. It is just different. Triple spiral. Listen to divine wisdom and joyfully learning life's lessons. Again, spirit with the 7th chakra, the crown chakra cards that came out earlier. It is saying, yes, listen to that divine wisdom, because spirit is definitely trying to communicate to you and trying to speak with you and through you. Earth, as the element of earth for grounding, stability, and strength in times of chaos, which is interesting because even though I didn't mention it, I did notice underneath this destiny card, look, there's self-worth, was the earth chalice. And something, I kind of felt like saying something, I got carried away, and it's being brought back up to our awareness. So there is a strong need to focus on grounding and finding stability within yourself. Know that you are strong even amongst the time of chaos. Love. Look, we have love, and we have love charm and successful career. Attract a lover, soulmate, or life partner. Successful career, a happy working environment, pay raises, and promotions. So this is to me saying once you ground yourself, and you listen to what it is that Spirit's trying to convey to you, once you're able to sit in silence and celebrate releasing, not dreading release, but celebrating release, because again, with every end comes a new beginning. Out with the old, in with the new. So we should celebrate when we are releasing people, places, and things in our life, because that means that we are leveling up, so to speak. And that doesn't mean anyone is better than anyone else. It just means that we're all on different paths, experiencing life, similarly, but differently. And once we're able to celebrate, meaning once we're able to give gratitude towards the things that we must release, it allows for abundance and all of this beauty to come through. But we have to view, again, we have to be consciously aware of our perspective, and we have to choose. Well, we don't have to, but it would be best to choose to celebrate the release of the old. Goddess, healing feminine energy. So perhaps you are a feminine, or you could be masculine, it doesn't matter. So this is saying perhaps you need to work on healing that feminine energy to make sure that the both aspects of male and female are balanced within you. But think not of like man and woman. Feminine and masculine energy don't necessarily mean male, female, gender. An energy is an energy, and anyone can embody any energy. And we all have both feminine and masculine energies within us. It's like, for example, the element of fire and water are seen as opposites. Fire is seen as a masculine energy, whereas water is a feminine energy. They're both different, but they are both necessary in terms of the elements, in terms of manifestation, in terms of creation. We need sustenance. We need that healing from that feminine energy, that healing, that calm, that depth, that shadow. And with the sun, we need that warmth, that fire that fuels our passion, and that a masculine energy of action. There's a need for balance, whether you're male or female. I looked up, I saw 3338. 333 may be significant to you, but also 8 to me always makes me think of like the World card or ending of cycles. And again, the majority of this reading has been to end cycles, to release the old, and to allow the new within you. Because like the number 4, which I just saw, it is for you to create your stability within yourself. And that's very important. So, I will leave the reading here for today. Thank you all so very much. I really, truly, deeply appreciate each and every single one of you guys. And I hope that this message has helped, has resonated in a positive, uplifting kind of way. Sometimes, we really don't want to hear that there's more to release, but sometimes that's just the fact of the matter, and we just have to accept and prepare ourselves to work through and release what must be released. So, thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll consider joining this little soul family that we have going on if you have not already. And if you are a part of this little soul family already, then thank you again so much for coming back and for sharing your time and sharing your energy and being a part of this collective together, and for your support. Thank you so much for your support in me and what I do. And I hope, the reason why I do this is in hopes that it will help someone. But yeah, I digress. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I really, truly, deeply appreciate each and every single one of you guys. And I love you guys. Take care. Bye. See you in the next one.